Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? We hope that you're well. I would just like to talk very briefly about the past 6 weeks, or going on for 6 weeks of lockdown, curfew, shutdown, whatever you want to call it, deliberate smashing of the economy in order to complete the national democratic revolution through the dispossession of colonialists of a special time, whatever you want to call it. From the point of view of it being a toetsloopie for Suidlanders, not everybody has had the same sort of experience. We have Suidlanders who are camping on properties that they own. Suidlanders living in second houses, let's say houses that they rent here in Van der Kloof. We have Suidlanders who are just living in their normal houses, wherever, in Johannesburg, Pretoria, Delmas. We have people who are continuing to work and people who are not continuing to work. There are people who have a permit to travel. Yeah, so different people have experienced different intensities of this event. There's a wide variety, a broad spectrum of intensity, let's say. And you can't really compare those of us who, in a sense, have had it easy to those who've had it very difficult. Okay, so that's kind of like a caveat. I just said that so that people don't get worked up about false comparisons. That whole long story was for that purpose. Now, let's get to the real point. The real point is to say that no matter what your experience no matter what your experience of this event might have been, how intense or not quite so intense, I beg your pardon, it has been an important toetsloopie, a very, very important toetsloopie for all of us. I think we all understand our weaknesses better now. Whether it be weaknesses in terms of material preparations. Oh dear me, I should have, had more of this. I'll tell you what I perceive now to be my greatest weakness, and that is freeze-dried meat. Even if you've got goats, even if you can hunt an animal, a bit of biltong or freeze-dried meat, because I certainly can't afford 1,000 cans of bully beef or 1,000 cans of tuna. It's just it's out of the question, and it always will be unless some kind of miracle comes along. So what is an option? Biltong, but it doesn't last forever. Freeze-dried meat. So that's something that weighs heavily on me. Also transport. Also, where are my things located? I wouldn't in future have my preparations where they are now. We're all in a boat of one description or the other, and it certainly isn't a Caribbean cruise liner. Yeah, I think I'm going to be interested to hear people's anecdotes, like my secretary. I haven't spoken to her for a couple of weeks, a couple of WhatsApps here and there, but not very much, almost for 3 weeks because I've been ill. And I haven't been up to it. The kind of the moment that I start concentrating on something, I feel ill. And I'm looking forward to asking her, for instance. I'm looking forward to asking Mr. Miller, for instance. I'm looking forward to asking Oom Jan Snor, Oom Jan van der Merwe van Natal, van der Manzimtoti. What were your shortcomings, or did you feel that you were perfectly happy? Um, you feel that when the right moment comes, you'll be able to do it A for a way. I look forward to talking to a guy like Colonel Wynand du Toit, because he was a recce, because certain things will, he has that toughness of physique and of spirit and of mind. He may say, this didn't bother me, but that did. Getting different perspectives from different people. But one way or the other, this is, or has been, an excellent toetsloopie. And I think it's just worth commenting on that, just bringing up the subject and planting the seed in people's minds, and you guys can make of it what you will. But down the line, I'm positive that there are going to be many conversations about this stuff, and it is going to make Saatlanders as an organization much stronger. I mean, there will be nobody in South Africa that can compare to us in terms of the benefits that we will derive from this toetsloopie. Most other groups, individuals, and organizations in South Africa will not derive the tremendous benefits that we will have done from this toetsloopie. Now, I think we're going to have some great conversations. We're going to learn a lot from one another. We're going to have some great conversations after this, I believe. Fantastic conversations that other people won't be having. We're going to be learning. We're going to be improving. We're going to be progressing. And, I've been looking for a silver lining in this whole story for some time now and been completely unable to find one. And I've been considering that thing of flourishing in adversity. You know that concept? The whole world goes into a depression, but somebody gets rich out of it. Or there's a world war, let's say World War II, but somebody makes the most of it. And there are many books written about it. I've never read any. It's not a concept that I engage with very much, except in my own mind. But if anybody is going to be somewhat better off after this disaster, it's going to be Saatlanders as a body. Some of us as individuals will have terrible setbacks, but Saatlanders as a body, not even as an organization necessarily, not as a non-profit organization, registration number, whatever, but as a body, will indisputably be very much better off for it. And that's the one silver lining that I've been able to find so far. Quick thing I want to say. If there was one other thing that I would really like is, and obviously they're priorities, it begins with maintenance money, school fees, and so on. So things don't happen overnight. We don't complain too much, but sometimes you can't always just throw things to the top of the list. But I would be very pleased if I was able to spare the cash to print myself. I've got about, I don't know, let's say 7 old encyclopedias, like household encyclopedias. You know what I'm talking about, how to make toothbrushes out of pig's hair or whatever. That's just how to make cheese, how to you guys know what I'm talking about, how to make soap out of whale fat, or how to keep stuff cool if you don't have snow, and ice like they used to sell on the streets 100 years ago, or electricity for a refrigerator, that kind of stuff. I'd I really like to either stumble across some. There's a bookshop in Philippopolis, I believe. I've been there once. That has amazing old books. I'd love to pick up a book there for peanuts. Or to print the encyclopedias that I was referring to, the ones that I already have on my computer hard drive in soft copy, and be able to take 3 or 4 of those into a flight situation with me. Because the ladies on the Van der Kloof Suidlanders group have been, I don't pay much attention because I only have this much attention, like all of us. I focus on this, you focus on that, she focuses on the next thing. We all have different strengths and we apply our energy as we should best apply it. But I see the ladies on the Van der Kloof group are coming up with all sorts of things. How to bake this and how to preserve that and how to... there was something from the day before yesterday, I can't remember what it was. It was an eye-opener for me. I'm never going to do it, but that's the knowledge that I'd like to carry with me and perhaps be able to share with somebody else, Yeah. For whatever that's worth, I hope that it provides you some little bit of encouragement and helps you to see the potential that exists for a future which may be very challenging, but which we may cope with better than some other people who just don't believe in God and don't believe in Oom-Sina van Rensburg and don't believe that there could be a bad bone in the body of the ANC, and who don't believe that we're in the midst of a communist revolution, although they call it a national democratic revolution, and who don't believe that there is such a concept as colonialism of a special type, which is devoted to the eradication of the whites in South Africa explicitly. Maybe we'll be a little bit luckier. All right, guys. I think that's almost enough for today. Cheers. Bye-bye.